And now let's talk about the three types of shadow AI users. Shadow AI isn't monolithic. It's not one type of person doing one type of thing. Shadow AI is actually more than that. There are three distinct categories of shadow AI users in your organization right now, and they are motivated by different things. So let's talk about type one, the experimenters. These are your curious, cautious employees. They have heard about AI, they want to learn, but they are not sure where the boundaries are. So they experiment quietly. They're using ChatGPT to brainstorm ideas. They are testing Grammarly for email writing. They are trying AI meeting summarizers to see if they actually work. The experimenters are not trying to build anything permanent. They are in exploration mode. They want to understand what AI can do before they commit for using it seriously. But here is the key. They are experimenting in private because they don't know if their boss will see this as taking initiative or wasting time. The uncertainty makes them cautious, so they keep it quiet. What drives the experimenters is actually curiosity combined with fear of judgment. They want to learn, but they don't want to look incompetent by asking permission for something that everyone else probably already knows. So they Google it, they test it, they stay silent. Type number two, the efficiency seekers. These employees have already decided that AI is valuable. They're not experimenting anymore, they're using it. They have found tools that generally make their work faster, better, or easier. And they're not giving those tools up. The efficiency seekers are using AI for writing first drafts for reports, analyzing data faster, automating repetitive tasks, generating code or formula, creating presentation content. They have moved past, should I use AI? Or how do I use AI better? But they are still in the shadows because they're not sure how their productivity gains will be interpreted. Will leadership say, great, you are more efficient now? Or will they say, wait, you have been using unauthorized tools? Even worse will leadership say, if you can do your job faster with AI, maybe we don't need you anymore. The fear that efficiency will be punished, not rewarded, keeps the efficiency seekers underground. What drives them are actually results. They have seen what AI can do. They are not going back, but they are also not announcing it. Type number three, the shadow innovators. This is the group most executives don't realize exists. They are not people using AI for small tasks. These are people building systems. The shadow innovator have created custom GPTs for their department, built AI-powered workflows that save hours per day, integrated unauthorized tools into critical processes, trained their teams on AI tools without telling leadership. They're not hiding because they are afraid of getting caught. They're hiding because they have learned that asking for permission takes too long, involves too many committees, and usually results in not wait. It actually reminds me when I was a kid, I always believed it's easier to ask for forgiveness than for permission. Anyhow, so they stopped asking. The shadow innovators have concluded it's easier to ask for forgiveness than permission, right? Same thing that I did growing up. I mean, I drove my parents crazy. And here is the irony. They are often your highest performers, your most innovative thinkers, the people you had want leading AI transformation. But instead of leading it officially, they are doing it underground. What drives them? Impatience with bureaucracy. Who has patience for bureaucracy anyhow? frustration with slow decision-making, and a belief that the organization will benefit from their work, even if leadership doesn't know about it yet. So you have three groups, like I said: experimenters, curious but cautious; efficiency seekers, already seeing results but hiding them; shadow innovators, building systems without permission. All three groups share one thing: they don't trust that transparency will be rewarded. And that's the root of the epidemic. So let's talk about your AI policy that is making it worse. Here is the uncomfortable truth most executives need to hear. Your AI policy, the one you worked so hard to create, is probably creating more shadow AI, not less. Let me explain why. Problem number one: policies designed by legal, not users. Most AI policies are written by legal teams, IT security, and compliance officers. These are smart people. They're doing their job, obviously. Their job is to minimize risk. But here is what happens. When you design an AI policy to minimize risk, maximize restriction, the policy becomes a list of what's prohibited. Do not use AI for customer data. Do not share confidential information with AI tools. Do not use unapproved AI platforms. And the list goes on and on and on. Notice what's missing? I hope you did. Any guidance of what is allowed, what is protected, what is encouraged. We have to give them both. Okay, we have to give. You remember, even before AI, we used to say, when you have a project, a big project that goes through different layers of users, always go to the bottom assembly lines and have them be part of the project. Why? Because they have the in and outs of every single day. It's better than the people at the top taking measures that will never work on the baseline. That's exactly the same idea. Okay. So notice, like I said, what's missing? It's what they can do. So your employees read that policy and think, I'm pretty sure what I want to do is not explicitly prohibited, but I'm not sure it's allowed either. So I just won't mention anything. Ambiguity creates hiding behavior. When the policy says don't do these things, or doesn't say, here is what you can do, people default to silence. Problem number two: focus on compliance, not conviction. Most AI policies assume the problem is compliance. If we can just get people to follow the rules, we'll be fine. But that's not the problem. The problem is conviction. Your organization hasn't built belief in AI. So when you create rules about AI, people don't see them as guardrails for innovations. They see them as barriers. So here is the neuroscience. When your brain perceives a rule as a barrier, it activates a threat response. And when a threat response activates, your brain looks for ways around the barrier. And that's what creates shadow AI. You're not dealing with rule breakers here. You're dealing with people whose brains are problem solving or solvers. How do I get my work done effectively while avoiding threat? The answer: do the work in the shadows. Problem number three: no input from actual users. Here is a question. When you designed your AI policy, how many frontline employees were in the room? Exactly what I was saying earlier. Most companies, zero. The policy is created by senior leadership, legal, IT, compliance. Then it's rolled out to employees with the expectation that they will comply. But employees know things leadership doesn't know. They know that, for example, which tools actually help them to do their job, where the pain points are, what's realistic versus what's theoretical, which rules will be followed versus which will be ignored. When you design a policy without that input, you create a policy that doesn't match reality. And when policy doesn't match reality, people operate in reality and ignore the policy. That's shadow AI. Problem number 4, the policy paradox. Here is the paradox. The more restrictive your AI policy, the more shadow AI you create. Because restrictive policies send a message. We don't trust you with AI. And when employees don't feel trusted, they don't trust leadership with transparency. It goes both ways. So they hide. You wanted to prevent risky AI use, but by restricting it, you can actually made AI use invisible. And invisible AI use is way riskier than visible AI use. At least when people are open about their AI experiments, you can guide them. You can provide training. You can course correct. When AI use is underground, you can do any of that. You're not even sure what they are. You're not even sure which way to go. The policy created the exact problem it was trying to prevent. So let me share with you, now that we shared all that, what are action steps that we can actually do. So what do you do about the shadow AI epidemic? Here is where to start. Step 1, acknowledge it exists. Stop pretending shadow AI is not happening in your organization. It is. 80% of your employees are using AI without telling you. Cyber News actually did a big study on that, and it was like mind-blowing. The first step is admitting you have an epidemic, not a few isolated cases. Step number 2, create amnesty. Announce to your organization, we know people have been experimenting with AI. No penalties for past hidden use. We want to know what you are using, not to punish it, but to support it. Amnesty is the only way to make the invisible visible. Step number 3, rewrite your policy with your team. Pull in actual users. Ask them, what AI tools are you using? What's working? What's not? What do you need from leadership to do this safely and actively? Then redesign your policy based on reality, not fear. Step number 4, model transparency. If you are a leader and you use AI, say so publicly. Share what you're using, share what worked, share what failed. When leadership models transparent AI use, it signals psychological safety. And here is the root of all that. Your teams mirror neurons fire. They start mirroring that transparency, psychological safety. The epidemic doesn't end with policy. It ends with trust, psychological safety. Shadow AI is an epidemic. It's widespread, it's hidden, and it's causing harm your organizations can see, at least for now. But here is the good news. Epidemics can be stopped, not by policing them, but by addressing the conditions that allowed them to spread. In this case, the condition is fear. Fear of judgment, fear of getting it wrong, fear that innovation will be punished instead of rewarded. Change the conditions and you change the behavior. Next Friday, I'm releasing a shorter episode where I will break down what I'm calling the $10 million shadow AI tax. The 5 hidden costs of shadow AI that most executives are not tracking. And the Wednesday after, I will dive into the root cause, how the conviction lag creates shadow AI at scale. If you haven't taken the shadow AI assessment yet, the link is in the show notes here under the podcast. It's a 5-minute diagnostic to help you see where shadow AI is hiding in your organization. Until then, I'm Sahar, your AI whisperer, a podcast where no tech are required. It's an AI podcast that demystifies the actual policies and the actual usage in the organizations. It's not a tech podcast, and it's not how to use ChatGPT and how to prompt podcast. It's actually a real AI podcast that talk about the real issues that happen at the workplace. Shadow AI, before we close, I'm just reminding you that shadow AI is not a tech problem. It's a trust problem. And trust problems require trust solutions. See you Friday. Till then, show me some love. Like it, like the YouTube. Please share it with other people that can benefit from that. Subscribe to it. If you want to email me, you can email me at saharconsulting.com. You can find me on LinkedIn, Sahar Andrade, or you can find me on Instagram, Sahar the Reinvent Coach. Till we meet again, I am out of here. See you next time. And now let's talk about the three types of shadow AI users. Shadow AI isn't monolithic. It's not one type of person doing one type of thing. Shadow AI is actually more than that. There are three distinct categories of